it's staggering to me that people can rationalize committing themselves to paying back $156,492.84 over the next 7 years for a vehicle that they just purchased. That to me is lunacy, but that's just me.
All right, folks, it is getting scary out there what you can get approved for financing. Buying a car in 2025, 12.74% interest rate for 84 months on $102,000 financed, leaving you with a total interest expense of $53,800. Dad, this is nuts.
Well, it's only nuts if you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Okay. True. If an $1,863 a month payment for the next 7 years is eminently affordable, then it's not nuts, but it's suspect at best.
Yeah.
It's staggering to me that people can rationalize committing themselves to paying back $156,492.84 over the next 7 years for a vehicle that they just purchased. The selling price or the amount financed was $102,671. So they are paying half of that just in interest. Okay. That to me is lunacy, but that's just me.
What's also nuts about this, because someone's going to see 12.74% and they're going to say, oh, this person must have bad credit. They put $0 down.
No, you don't get approved for a 7-year note with $0 out of pocket and a monthly payment of $1,863 if you have bad credit. That very well might be the going rate for that type of and size of loan.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. All right, folks, Volkswagen and Uber team up to offer autonomous ride-hailing services using the ID Buzz. We're going back in time, baby, the ID Buzz, except it's autonomous. You getting excited to hop into your ID Buzz autonomous van, Dad?
Excited? No. They're the level. Let me say this: the level of fear, if I were to hop in that, would far outweigh the level of excitement of being chauffeured around in a driverless vehicle. How about that? That's
super fair. That's super fair. The other, really, you've got to be kidding me for this morning, Dad. Ford is up to 41 recalls this year.
They are absolutely crushing it, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about having an MVP caliber year. I mean, 24 days into April, okay, and already you have almost tripled what your nearest competitor has. Talk about hitting the cover off the ball. I mean, somebody needs to check their bat, ladies and gentlemen, because this is just it's fascinating. It's
Ford's using the torpedo bats that have become so popular this year in the MLB, man. Yeah.
And I think they've been using those bats ever since they declared that quality was job none. It's fascinating to me that as they have proclaimed the most American of American car manufacturers, and people love Ford. Yeah. And I don't blame people for loving Ford. But my God, how can you be one of the world's largest automobile manufacturers and consistently on the quality front perform as poorly as they do? Month in, month out, year in, year out, still build the brand loyalty that you have built. At some point you'd think their customers and other customers would say, you think you could just build it a tad bit better? I'd be so much happier if I spent less time visiting my service department, and I would prefer not to be on a first name basis with my service advisor. I don't want to know that it's John's birthday today. I don't need to know that information.